It's now time for a product spotlight with the Canadian Canola Growers Association. We're talking to Dave Gallant. He's the Director of Finance and Operations. Dave, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much for having me, Sean.
So, Dave, I understand cash advances are such a valuable financial tool for farmers that can be especially useful as we head into the fall here. Harvest is well underway in Western Canada. Can you tell me a bit about what a cash advance is and if there's anything new this year that you're offering?
So a cash advance is a program run by the federal government through administrators like CCGA that gives farmers access to cash flow for their inventory prior to selling their inventory. And the primary purpose of the program is so that farmers don't have to sell their product right off combine, but can actually put it in the bin and market that crop in the future, obtaining hopefully a much better value for it and still being able to pay their bills today. In terms of what's new this year, two big changes. One, the advance rates themselves went up for the products this year significantly. So, for instance, canola is up 31%, durum's up 40%. And so what that means for farmers is that even though your farm may be the same size and produce the same commodity or same amount of commodity as prior years, you can get significantly more funds for the same crop. And the other big change this year is in June of this year, the minister increased the interest-free component from $100,000 to $250,000 for both this year and next program year. And what that means is far more substantial savings for farmers on the interest cost of the program in light of especially the increased interest rates that we've been seeing since January.
So, Dave, who would benefit the most from using a cash advance? Is there a certain segment of farmer, or who benefits the most here?
Well, what we see is we've got farmers both big and small who use the program. So I think anybody who uses financing for their working capital needs on their farm can definitely benefit from the program by saving what can amount to $20,000 to $30,000 in interest costs relative to financing through their local financial institution. For an example, a farmer who takes out a $500,000 advance with CCGA is going to save just over $20,000 relative to going to their local bank and paying prime plus one, because the first $250 is interest free, and the remaining $250 on that advance would be at prime minus 0.75%. So combine that with no fee, and it's very cheap financing for farmers. As well, if you're a brand new producer, whether you're a young person getting into farming or new to the farming industry at all, the one beauty of this program is the only collateral required for a cash advance is your ownership of inventory. So we don't take collateral on your land, on your equipment. It's strictly your inventory, which means you can stretch your dollars a lot further, stretch your capital a lot further by using a cash advance.
Now, you've explained the features really well. Let's tie those features to the time of the year and why this is such a good time to maybe be considering this.
This is an excellent time of the year, and about half our customers use the program only in the fall. And that's because as they're harvesting their crop, they know what they have in the bin and they know the quality of what they have in the bin. And so now they can generate cash flow to pay the bills that come along with harvesting a crop. There's the fuel, the labor, you've got property taxes due, all your input costs are due. The only way to generate cash flow is to sell that product. And prices are typically lower in September and October than they are at any other time in the year. So this allows a farmer to generate cash flow with their inventory and still have that inventory on hand to market and sell in December, January, March, June of next year, when those values will be much higher and they can also get storage costs. So it allows them to maximize the revenue on their crop while still being able to pay their bills.
Dave, is there anything else you want to tell us about cash advances?
The one thing I want to encourage farmers to do is really look at the program in terms of the options. Like I said, there's significant interest savings now, especially with $250,000 interest free. The fact that CCGA, you're below prime on the rest of the advance by 0.75%. So again, a farmer can save $20,000, $30,000 in interest costs annually by using a cash advance over regular financing. And at CCGA, we are the lowest cost offer with the broadest range of services available to farmers. So I would encourage them to take a good look at the program to see if the advantages the program offers are worth it for their farm.
Well put. So if somebody does want to look at some of the features and take more of a deeper dive into it, how do they do that?
The best way to do that is they can call us at 1-866-745-2256, and our experienced staff will walk them through the process of how to complete an application. We can complete it online for you, and in about 20 minutes, you'll have in your in-basket the completed form with all the additional information you need about what needs to be signed and what other forms need to be completed for the application. Our goal is to get money in farmers' hands once we have the completed application within 3 to 5 days, and I can tell you right now, our turnaround on completed applications is 2 days.
Great stuff. Dave, thanks so much for joining us here today on Real Ag Radio.
Thanks for having me.